All right. So after the taking apart the oil pump, and it's over there in the corner now, really neat mechanism, I have been able to get the engine to turn over completely, just slowly by hand, watching the bearings and stuff. Everything's okay, it's just a little wet in there, but no big deal. No rust anyway, no significant rust. So what we're looking at next is the cooling part of the engine. We have the gas tank here, and the, I don't really know the good term for this, it's an air ducting, if you will. The flywheel is metal, and this is a fan. And it blows air across the head to keep it cool, hence an air-cooled engine. Now, the only thing I'm worried about, of course, is obviously the probably brass nipple there on the tank. There's no real need to take this off, but whenever you're taking apart an engine, it's typically done just because it makes it look like you're taking the engine apart. I can actually see into the engine through here. There's no rat's nest plugging anything up. Not that we're going to get it started. But the tank is solid too, so that's a plus. But it'll get stuff out of the way, especially for the video. So to do that, I'm going to remove those two flatheads there, another flathead right there, and another flathead right there. That'll remove the tank, and then I think I'm just dealing with a few bolts on that side, and I'll come back after. I'll take the tank off, that's easy enough, no surprises there. And there should be another one on this side, and then one up here, and there might be one up behind the tank. And I'll come back, we'll lift that cover off and see what's hiding underneath. I'm in my way here. Notice there's some lubricant there because these are really tight, and flatheads, you can't put a ton of torque on them. I've been using a product the Napa guy recommended for cleaning carburetors, actually. It's called Deep Creep. Sort of a penetrating, sort of a cleaning, sort of a, I guess, do-all type of thing, so good for it. It does seem to do okay. It cleaned one carburetor real nice for me, and it's like fogging it, but I can't put this down, so I'm going to have a hard time doing it. But man, these puppies are tight. There we go. Ton of force on them because it's a lot of this is aluminum. Like this is aluminum, but this is not. So we're going to get a little bit of corrosion and things getting really tight or stuck anyway. But keep going. So we're back. Got all 4 screws undone and adjustable wrench. On this guy here, that came off very easily actually. Once it just popped, it came off by fingers. The tank undone, I should be able to wiggle everything back. And away we go. Nice square tank. I've got a lot of lay down space here so I can set it aside with all its screws and fasteners. Obviously whatever it was green. There's green remnant paint on the gas can, or I should say the tank. Oh, that looks much nicer. There's the fuel line. This was at once green, you can tell. It just worn off through time. Some notches there, but they don't really say anything. I'm still looking for the name of this thing. So, and this is really a cast piece. Usually that's just steel. So. I'm going to work on those now and we'll get this cover off. Well, I was expecting a fight and got none. They popped right out. So there's 2 on the bottom there, and this is the top one. And yeah, these are the only 3 that hold this cover on, but it's a really heavy duty cover. So let's see. How long? There goes a moth. That's cute. Alright, so let's see. There's a spider in this, by the way, a jumping spider too. So I shriek like a girl, you know why. Okay. It's always never coming out great. There's a little piece of sheet metal around the edge here. There's stuff in here. It's a really tight fit. It's caught on the bottom here. There we go. Boink. Ta-da. So there we have some stuff. So it's nice to get that crap out of there. Let's put our bolts back in their holes. That would be threaded. No, it's just a sheet metal. So let's put those in there. Set this guy aside. We'll examine it for clues as to what type of engine it is later. And move back to the awesomeness here. It's a really big flywheel. It's kind of dirty. It's got castings and stuff on it. If I find anything cool, I'll put it in the notes for this video. Like I said, you're now getting complete freedom. I think what we're going to do next is pop this little guy off. This should show me my push rods for the flathead for the valves up top here, and we'll see if they're actually moving. That too would be indicating. I'm hoping that the engine they stopped using it and that was it. But it could have broken something, and so before we go too far, we'll make sure that at least it fundamentally seems like it will work. So, coal beans. It's a flathead, so let's just do it now. Burning the top here though. Before we put this whole thing back together again, we'll lubricate the crap out of everything. We need to pick at that a little more. And we're back. Penetrant oil, of course, and cleaned out the threads a little bit. I got it to pop, so now it's really just friendly coming out. Oops, not that front head. Use 2 hands pressing down. Give it a little bit of smooth torque. There we go. Now it's happy and long. Figured that because it's got the push rods between. It's heavy. Wow. Hey, look at that. Why I'm excited is there's no rust and they appear to be not broken, so that's always great. Let's do a slow rotation here and see what's cooking here. See if I can get some more light on that. Not a lot of compression in this thing. Nope. That would be if I'm turning it the right way. Am I? Yes. Intake. That would be exhaust followed by intake. There we go. Well, good on that thing. Awesome beans. So those are the push rods, and the little gasket's still there. For the purposes of taking this thing apart, I'm going to put the cover back on so we don't drop anything in there. But before we do a test fire, we'll oil the crap out of this just for fun.